President Trump had dinner with several members of his cabinet last night. They went to a seafood restaurant near the White House, part of an effort to promote his crackdown on crime, which has included a surge in federal law enforcement and, of course, the deployment of armed National Guard troops. The president was met with cheers and some chants of Free Palestine outside the restaurant. Once inside, a group of protesters holding Palestinian flags also began chanting Free D.C., Free Palestine, calling Trump the Hitler of our time. You can hear their chants in that video. An activist group later claimed credit for that disruption. The president briefly spoke to reporters afterwards, touting what he called a safer Washington, D.C.
Here I am standing out in the middle of the street. I wouldn't have done this 3 months ago, 4 months ago. I certainly wouldn't have done it a year ago. This was one of the most unsafe cities in the country. Now it's as safe as there is in the country. So we're here with cabinet members having dinner, and everybody should go out.
The president there flanked by the vice president, other cabinet members. But Trump also hinted that he would be sending federal troops to another U.S. city very shortly, adding that the governor and mayor associated with that city would love for us to be there. So what are you hearing, John, from your sources inside the White House about how far the president plans to take this and what city they might be talking about? Because to me, I think of my one-time hometown, New Orleans, and the fact that the mayor has not spoken glowingly about this idea, but the governor there, who is a Republican, has said, sure, we would have some help if you'll give it to us.
Ali Vitale, the Tulane grad.
Not that I ever let anyone forget.
little shout out to New Orleans. Yeah, I mean, there's been talk about New Orleans and Chicago. There's been talk about Boston. I mean, you know, basically every American city, if Donald Trump gets his way, the sort of preparation has been laid for to take what's been done in Los Angeles, to take what's done in Washington, D.C., and do it across the country. I think the nervousness within the White House is that might not be something that is actually appreciated by the American public. You saw Donald Trump out there saying it's safe to stand outside Joe's at like 15th and H Northwest, maybe, like a block or so from the White House. I've been to Joe's recently. Like there's no there's no risk going there. Seafood salad's great if you're visiting Washington, D.C. Enjoy it. I mean, the idea that Donald Trump was walking through some sort of like difficult, challenging, violent space is absurd. That block is among the safest in America.
Yeah, I think
has been for a long time.
And has been for a long time. You're 100% right to point that out. And then, of course, there is the idea that we have seen some conservative critics of Trump saying you shouldn't be sending in the National Guard over the objections of the governors in those states, which, of course, is what would happen if he were to send Guard troops into Boston or into Chicago, potentially one of the reasons why they've at least paused or not acted yet on those plans, though it's certainly hanging in the ether about if or when they're ultimately going to press go on that. NBC's Jonathan Allen setting us up for another busy day in Washington. We thank you as always.